Well, it's a good evening to everybody, and we are back in Virtual Pool 4, and hopefully, well, I don't say hopefully, I know that we should have a match because both players are here. This is another match in this year's Virtual Pool 4 9-Ball World Masters, and it's a one-loss side match between Larry and Columbus, a race to 11, and well, both players being here should assure us of getting hopefully a match, but that's what happened earlier on today. 8 o'clock this morning, all set to go. Cobra was there, Stub was there, our real Poland power. The match started. What a start by Cobra. He won the lag. He broke off. He potted a ball or a couple of balls in the break. He ran the table. Then Stub broke. He broke dry. And then Cobra came to the table and run out again. And then on Cobra's second break, he broke and run the third rack. Now, in the meantime, Stub then lost connection 3 or 4 times. He eventually took the advice to restart his PC, but to cut a long story short, by the time he got all that organised, faffing around for about 7 or 8 minutes, it timed out, and then Cobra messed about, wouldn't give a straight answer as to whether he was prepared to play the match, and so as far as I know, the result stands. Stub has been sent to the one-loss side. Good evening, gents. The room is up, the guys are in, they're probably lagged off, and we're good to go. Welcome. Hopefully we'll say we've got a match for you. We've got Larry at the table, and well, look at the table. Same old, wide open table, and Larry should be running it. Now, first of all, I'm not going to make any judgments about this chap Columbus because I have never seen him play. I've never seen any of his matches. I will reserve my judgment once I've seen him play 2 or 3 shots, and then I'll get a rough idea of what his chances are going to be in this match. Anyway, welcome guys, and welcome anybody that's going to join us at some point. Hopefully, again, the audio is okay. Easy enough to drop down onto the 6. Well, he's just gone too far past the 6 ball here. He's going to have to run up past the 9, I think. I don't think he should risk trying to be flashy here. He needs to run up past the 9 for safety's sake. He doesn't want to try and be gentle. Yeah, that's the right idea. And now the important one. A reminder as well that there are, I think there's at least one other match tonight at 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, as I explained earlier, I won't be able to get it. I might be able to see the first few racks, but I won't be able to stream it. There's no point in starting the stream on the match when I can't finish it. Well, I would, again, as I say, not having seen Columbus, I'm not prepared to make any judgment on any player if I've not seen them. I don't just go by ratings in that sense. But look where the 9-ball is. Remember the problems you get with the 9-ball, but this time Larry's played it well. He's got the pace right. I presume Larry won the break and broke and got a ball. Mind you, when I came in the room there was a scratch, so it looks as if Columbus might have won the break. Soon find out. Yes, he did. So Columbus, however it happened, he's ended up scratching in the first rack, and Larry has stolen the first rack against the break. So Larry breaking off in rack number 2, but he in turn has come up dry. Well, it's another situation where, apart from where the 5 and 9 are at the moment, this rack could hinge straight away on whoever gets this one ball, the way these balls are sitting. And Columbus is going to get a chance to show us how good he is right now. Now, maybe it would have been better to stun that to come out behind the 5, because he's now got himself in trouble straight away. He had a little angle there to stun it out before the 5 instead of running into it and consequently brushing into the rail and leaving himself way inside. So immediately he got himself out of shape by not necessarily playing the right shot. So Larry is now gifted an opportunity here. He's a bit straight in the 3 though. He's going to have to force this. Yep, he's leaving the cut, so now the cue ball's running. So he's going in behind the 8 and he's hopefully missing the 5 ball. That's in the plan here. He has to miss the 5 ball. He doesn't want to run into it because you don't know where it's going to end up. So that's the main objective with this shot here. Well, I don't know, he's tried to play that with inside English to come up the middle of the table. Again, it made the shot a lot more difficult, but you know, why not take the risk in brushing past that 5? Well, again, Columbus has had a blast at that to make the cut. He had to force that into to get it to the pocket. Cue balls run loose again. Difficult shot in the 5, and highly likely he could block himself out with the 8 here if he just runs across the left hand side. So has Bedhead joined us yet? He must be asleep, because Bedhead is the player waiting for the winner of this match in the next round on the one-loss side. Well, Columbus has managed to get a sight in the 6, but this is thin, and that's played well. Now, what sort of angles he got there? Oh, he's dead straight. So he's going to have to get into the cue ball. I think I've changed my keyboard, by the way, guys, to the wee compact one to give me more room, and I can't get the table to reset. I think I might just bin this keyboard in 2 minutes time, because it's normally Control U to reset the picture, but I can't bloody well do it for some reason. Well, Columbus is going to have to go for the bank, and again it's a good bank, although I'm not particularly happy the way he's aiming at this 9 at the moment. Let's have a look. I think he's going for it too thin. He needs to hit it a wee bit straighter, I think. Well, no, my eyes are terrible. Don't listen to a word I say. Played it perfect. Right, let's try this again. Nope, that ain't working. Right, so in the meantime, talk amongst yourselves. This is getting disconnected and the old one's going back in. Right, apologies chaps, I had a bright idea and that didn't work, so let's see if this works now. Hang on. Right, that's better. Is that right? Again, I had a quick glance at the bracket before the match started, and I was pretty certain it was Bedhead. I'm wrong again. Anyway, it doesn't matter who they play. It's going to be a hard game anyway. But we're tied at 1-1. I've been messing about with my keyboard like a numpty. That didn't work, so we're back to the old. Well, not so much old. The Logitech key. This is the most expensive keyboard I ever paid. Paid for 80 quid. It cost me. The very slim one. But it's showing signs of wear and tear, so I thought I'd go to the wee compact one I had lying about, and that didn't work, and I couldn't remember why I stopped using it. Now I know how it's, because half the bloody buttons don't work, that's why. This is a wee gentle one. What's the angle like there? Well, I can just do a straight draw. Straight draw to the 8. Just a wee feather of help in English I like here with this one. That does the trick. So Larry's going to go back into the lead. So who gets the break now? Is it back to Columbus? No, it sticks with Larry. So Larry's got the advantage again, and he's got the break. Let's see what he can do with it. Again, it's a good wide open break, but unfortunately for Columbus, the one ball's gone safe on that side rail. Well, you never know. Larry might have a blast here. I mean, what he doesn't want to do is to live to regret it. He can play a decent safety here. Well, he might have played the billiard off the 9 for the one into the left corner, and he's got away with it slightly. He's left nothing easy for Columbus, and the 2 ball is hanging around in that top rail. Well, he's played that confidently enough. Now let's see how good he is. Let's see if he can find the lines and track this cue ball from that 3 to the 4. Well, you got to get the 2 first of all, but once again, this time it's Columbus getting it safe. Now Larry can play this with a bit of left English if he wants to try and hide up in this right hand corner. Needs a wee bit more pace. Had the right idea. It hasn't quite got there. Good evening. Good evening, Keith. You're playing late. When the hell are you playing, by the way? Your match isn't scheduled yet, is it? Or are you going to schedule it again just so I can't stream it for the guys? Any time after 8 o'clock you can schedule it. I won't be there. I'll be in bed. Well, Larry's got the kick. He's not got it safe though. And again, Columbus is getting a chance to try and run a table. Well, you've got to pot those pretty much not quite a straight in shot, but you've got to get them. Oh, thanks very much. I mean, you might play your best match and it's not going to be archived and nobody's going to see it, Keith. You're not going to be able to show the grandkids. Well, Columbus is going to have to step up to the plate here, because already with a couple of shots the signs are not that good. Again, when you're looking at a 2,100 rated player, you never jump to conclusions, because a lot of the time they build their rating up in a challenge room and they don't necessarily have a proper tournament rating, because they don't play a lot of tournaments. So ratings can be misleading. It's not until you see a player playing that you can then come to your own conclusions. Well, this is going to be an awkward one for Larry. Well, that's good. Have you got it on a YouTube channel anywhere? Because if you do, what I'll do is I'll watch it. Well, Larry's finding a way to get out, and now Columbus is trailing by 2. And it's a similar situation to other matches where you've got a player which well, the way it looks at the moment, we've got a player that's a much higher standard than his opponent, and if Columbus is going to be relying on getting things on a plate, then he might have a long wait. He's going to have to get himself set and start playing some proper shots. But he's got a good safety there, one way or another. Larry can spin around and kick this. This table is going to hinge again on this one ball, because there's not a problem ball. Once the 4's out the way, the pocket's open for the 6 ball in the bottom left hand corner. Well, Columbus has played the combo on the 1 and 5. He's just under hit that slightly, but he's going to have to go over to this left hand side. He doesn't want to come straight up and down. If he gets the pace wrong, he could block himself by the 9 here. He could block himself by the 9. Again, the commentator's eye calls the shot. Had to play that with a wee bit of inside left there. Just a feather, just to help that cue ball come over slightly to the left. Now, most sort of reasonable players of a certain level would understand that could be the trouble you could be letting yourself in for if you just let the cue ball run straight. A wee bit of help in English, just a feather of it, and that would have avoided that. But as it is, Columbus has got it safe again. Larry's going up to the deep long grass at the far end of the table, and well, Columbus now, is he going to have a bash, or is he trying to hide the cue ball? He's trying to tuck it away, and that's a good shot. I like that. Okay, it's probably not impossible to hit it. Let's have a look. Larry can actually see it. He might be able to pot it. This is a tough cut, but he can pot this. I thought he had him nailed on that 6 ball there. And that's well played. Well, Larry can go around the corner and play this 6 ball long, but he's going to play it short so he can just draw it. I mean, the bit I can't understand about Stubb is he's not necessarily a new player to play in games online, and to be sitting in the lobby for like a day and a half or 2 days, you know your match is coming up, and not to reboot your computer and restart it and make sure all the rubbish is not running in the background, and then have disconnects, and then have Windows updates. At least that's what he's telling us. Well, it's just a bit numpty-ish, isn't it? He's got nobody to blame but himself. But Larry now has got a comfortable lead, so it's now the situation where Larry doesn't need to push the boat out, he just needs to sit and wait. It's all up to Columbus now. Is he going to find a way to get himself into this match? Because this is where you have to start using your head. Well, up until now, the only information we've got is what we've seen in the chat when Steve eventually, that's Super Admin, Steve Chaplin, eventually asked Cobra what he wanted to do, because it was his call, and he said he wanted to go away and think about it, which I certainly wouldn't have left it at that. It would have been make your mind up what you want to do, and if you do want to do something, then it can be arranged to reset a time and date for the match, and if not, then the result stands. So it's just messing about even more. Cobra could easily have made a decision there and then. Well, Larry's missed the 2, hung it up, but I have to say Columbus is going to have to play well to run this table. You know, most of the ball's nailed to the rail, and where he is now is going to be a test of pace and control to get anywhere near this 5 ball. Now, the obvious shot to give him plenty of room is to go down the right hand side, because he can then play the combo if he can get down to the bottom rail. But the cue ball is running, so he's on the shorter side. He has the cut, and now he has to go up and down. Now he doesn't want to run into that 9 ball, he wants to stay away from that. He wants to get this cue ball running up and down the table. Somewhere up in the middle of the table would do it, and that's not it. So he's got that completely wrong. He didn't play he didn't play the snooker. I'll never believe that. Well, I think that's it. That's as much as what Cobra's doing as well. Yep, like a couple of wee kids. So Larry looking for the kick. Gets the kick, brings the 5 out. So Columbus is not going to get many more invitations to the party. This is his second good chance here to win this rack. Got a bit fortunate there, getting that 5 ball safe. Needs to be careful he doesn't draw that across into the middle pocket. Well, he's taking it long, which is a wise move. And now he needs to be gentle. Doesn't want this cue ball to escape too far into the table, because then he's going to have too much angle to hold the 7 ball and stay for the 8. And that's not bad. That'll give him a shot. And again, look at where the 9 ball is. It's in that awkward place. It's wide open, but it's so easy to go short or too far and then leave yourself a toughie to win the rack. But this is important for Columbus. He has to take it. And always be wary, depending on what he's doing with the cue ball, but be wary of the scratch in the top left here if he lets it run up. Oh, that's a good pace. He's played that well. And he's going to be back within 2. And he's got the break. Nine ball goes in. 6 and 7 drop into the left middle. 9 ball gets respotted, and well, Columbus has a shot. Now, that's the one thing I never checked. Where's this chap from? From Turkey. Larry from the USA. Little brush off the 3, little brush onto the 2, and a little gentle drop in this 2 would probably still hold the cue ball. Maybe there's more angle on it than I think. Yeah, there was. Now he's in trouble. So, reminder for any latecomers, we're looking at a 1-loss side match in the VP4 9-ball World Masters 2020. It's a race to 11. We have no jump cues, and we're working on an alternate break rule. Nice cut in the 3. No joy. Well, what about the combo bank on the 9? It can be made. I think he's looking to see if the 4 went past the 9 there, I think, but the combo can be made if he's brave enough. Well, he has to hope he gets safe, and it's not too bad. Was it worthwhile maybe pushing the boat out and trying to bank that 9? It was in a reasonable angle. Now, what's Larry planning here? Is he going all out for the bank? No, he's trying to cut it. Good cut, but same old, same old. When there's a blocking ball somewhere, Larry's just found it. Well, this could be important if Larry doesn't get this safe. And he's not. Well, you already know your next opponent, Stub. Oh dear. Not a good sign, I'm afraid. It wasn't a really difficult 5 ball. And well, Larry will just pick this off. A little bit of help in inside English. Pushes the cue ball right. So it is not looking good for Columbus. He's had a good chance in that last rack and he hasn't taken it, and Larry goes to 5-2, and it was Larry's break. He's got the, what was it, 7 ball in the break, but no shot on the 1. Don't know whether he can see. No, he can't. He can only see half a ball. And he's got reasonable cover. There's not many pockets for Columbus to choose here with this shot. Could go for the bank though. And in goes the bank, but where's the cue ball going? Well, you need a wee bit of running to help you, and Columbus isn't getting it there. And well, he's going to have to hit this and hope, and he's not got a great line anywhere to actually get to this 2 ball. He's looking for it, but there's nothing obvious here. The 8 balls in the way, 9 balls in the way on that side. Yeah. So again, Larry comes to the table. He's got ball in hand, and well, he's on the 2 ball. He's looking to just draw up past that 8. Give himself the little angle to draw up past the 8. Now what Larry wants to do is pot this 3 ball up at the top end of the table and run over to the 9 to use the 9 as a stopper for the cue ball. He can probably, let's have a look. He can still do that unless he just wants to come up into the middle of the table, but the danger of running over to the 9 would be running behind it and hooking himself, so he's left himself square, you see. So he's got another wee fiddly one here. But the ideal shot would have been to run that cue ball towards the 9 just to hold for the 4 on the side rail, and Larry didn't want to take that risk. Well, that nudge on the 6 might be important, because it's more or less blocked by the 9 into that corner. It's very tight. You'd have to be right behind it to play it there, so Larry's going to have to get up the table, and it's a full-blooded shot in the 5, and it's going to be deep draw time. Yeah, he didn't get into that at all, considering where the cue ball's finished. Now, well, Columbus can see the 5, he can pot the 5, and he just needs to be gentle about it, because that way he'll keep the cue ball under control for that 6 ball into the middle. So that all he's doing is just using the angle that he's got. Drop the 5 in. Oh dear, well, that was really poor, because he's run into the 9, and well, that's unforgivable. There's plenty of room to get to the 5, and well, he wants to start looking through his good eye, because that was certainly the bad one he was aiming with there. And it's another gift for Larry, and I think it's only a matter of time now before Larry's marching on to the next round. like I say, and I've said previously, it doesn't matter how good your rating looks and whether you sit there admiring your rating because you've played lots of challenge matches. When you get into a tournament, nobody's going to do you any favours, and when it's over a distance rather than just single racks each time, you are certainly going to get found out at some point. And not having seen any of Columbus's previous matches, he would obviously get some helping hands from his opponent in those matches, and he managed to come through them, but he's going to have to work a lot harder, and he's running out of time. Larry with a 6-2 lead, and it's only a race to 11. Push out played by Larry. Columbus could put him back in. Whether he knows that, I don't know. He's gone for the bank in the one. It's hit the knuckle. I think he's okay though, I don't think. Now, I think Larry can cut that in. Yeah, he can cut it in. Just feather it in. Cue ball again's going to be running around. And it has to run around because the 2's hiding behind the 8 down here. Now, he needs to avoid the 6 and get a bounce. And he's almost got there. Now this is where the 8 ball will do him a favour. It'll either work one way or the other. It'll either hold him and he'll run in behind the 7 ball, or he'll bounce off the rail and come back out for the 3. So, well, he's hit it hard enough to make sure that wasn't going to happen. And, well, he might have a problem, because the 8 ball is now acting as a blocker on the right hand side, so he's going to have to play a more accurate positional shot to have the shot in that 5. Nice little angle and a gentle pot here just to get the cue ball out far enough. He just wants to come sort of to about there, if he can. And wait to get my straight line working like that. So he doesn't want to go much further out into the table, so somewhere near the line would do, and I think he's pretty much almost there. You know, in a match room, your rating only ever changes after the match. So if you're playing a race to 5 or a race to 7, whatever it is, your rating doesn't jump up and down during the match. It just changes. However it's calculated, it will go up or down at the end of the match. You'd need to ask Steve to explain that, but your rating, like in old GameSpy, goes up and down when you're in a challenge room. How it's computed, nobody knows but Steve, and he ain't telling. Oh, good evening, Polo. Well, Larry's gone straight on the 8, so take your medicine and just stun it in. He needs to kill the cue ball to stop the cue ball skidding through, so he's going to have to maybe leave a cut here unless he goes full blooded for this, but he's going to have to thump it and not hang it, so he's leaving the cut. Now, what would you use the VP4 utility belt for? I don't think anybody needs it for routers anymore. Well, Larry's broke off in rack number 10, leading by 7 racks to 2, and the 9 ball has gone down. Yeah, I'm sure. However, I mean, depending on the rating the person you're playing, and how many racks you win. I'm sure that affects the overall total of what you get, but as I say, nobody knows what that is. Oh, it did that. I remember that. Yeah. Now, let's have a look at the 6. Well, we can see the 6 is tight. So, when you look at it, the closer you get there, it looks as if there's a huge pocket. But again, that's from right behind the 6. So, Larry has a choice here. He could play. There's a much easier billiard to play than trying to get really accurately on the 6. If he just pots the 5 and runs over to the left, he can play the billiard and knock the 8 in. That's one solution, but he's going to have to play a very good accurate shot here to get straight on this 6 to squeeze it past that 8 ball. Yeah, 7 years ago to be exact. Come this October, I think. Yeah, I think it was what, 2000, was it 2012 for the offline or whatever, or was it the other way around? 2012 for the online, and then later on for the offline. Well, Larry's now got himself in a position. He didn't play it though, but he's now in the position I was talking about. But he's actually a bit too close, but he can probably still do it. Play the stun off the 6 onto the 8 to knock it in, and then just hope he gets a shot in the 6. Or is he looking for the cut? No, he's going to hide. He's getting nasty. And of course, that's another way of frustrating your opponent, when your opponent's sitting hoping you do something to give them a gift, and Larry's in no mood to give anybody any gifts. So Columbus has got the kick, and he's not got the cover. And this will be a bit demoralising for guys who don't play a lot of tournaments, but it's tournament experience that they need, and it also gives them an idea of how he needs to or how he can improve his game. A fair bit of learning maybe needed, because Larry, as long as he can get on this 9, is going to be just 3 away from the next round. That just keeps running. So 8-2, and Columbus to break in rack number 11. Oh dear, cue ball's gone. Well, this isn't quite as straightforward, so Larry's going to play the simple thing and pot that 1, and then just leave the combo on the 2 and the 7 as far as I can see. I don't think he's got much choice. I mean, he's got plenty of room on the right hand side of the table just to drop through to the rail and then nudge that 2 onto the 7. Now the problem though is where the 2 ball's going to go. Now, is he going to hold it really gentle so the 2 ball doesn't squirt away along the rail? Yes, he is. Well, this is this the 7th week of lockdown that we're in, or we're coming to the end of? Well, it's been that length of time, excuse me, since I've had a Chinese, and I'm desperate. Mind you, I was desperate 2 days after the lockdown started, let alone 7 weeks. And I'm beginning to lose weight because of it. I've said before, I mean, I have gone, and I'm not making it up, I have gone 40 years and more, and in those 40 years there is not a week gone by where I've been sick, had man flu, whatever, where I have not had a Chinese. Not a single week has gone by where I've not had one. And this is desperation. This now I know what a druggie's like when they need a hit. Because I'm coming out in cold sweats in the morning. Well, Larry's going to run into the 9 here, so again he's just going to ride his luck. Well, I would order one if there was anything open, but there isn't. My next door neighbour phoned me, I don't know whether I told you, his next door neighbour phoned in and says, oh, we had a beautiful Chinese the other night, my son brought it in. And so when I spoke to her the next day, I says, oh right, so where did he get this Chinese? Thinking it was you know, one of the places in the town. Oh, it was Kilwinning, which is bloody 15 miles away from Kilmarnock where I stay. I just burst out laughing. I said the bloody thing will be stone cold by the time I get it home. And I ain't travelling that distance no matter how desperate I am. That's like crossing half of London to get a Chinese. No, not in your Nelly. Anyway, Larry is marching on here. It's a procession. It's 9-2. Not up here. They ain't. We're a bit more civilized in the desperate English, who want to open up everything and spread the virus even more. Nicola Sturgeon's keeping us imprisoned up here. This looks good. Oh, Larry, that is nasty. That is mean and nasty, but that is straight out of the 9ball.com Tactical Genius Manual for safety shots. So Larry's been studying it. And Columbus misses the kick. Ball in hand again for Larry. Well, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I am going to phone the one I'm currently using to see if they're trading again. Well, Larry's going to end up winning this rack with a 6-9 combo by the look of it. Again, same thing, as long as he can get on that 5 and drop over to the right hand side behind the 7, he shouldn't have a problem. It's not a difficult combo, but it is difficult if he doesn't get straightish on it. So he's gone straight in this 4 ball, so he's just going to have to run through. Where is that, Mark? Is that somewhere in Leicester? Well, Larry's managed to get the objective done, and now it's just a matter of following it through. Again, just a gentle one, just to let that 9 ball roll. As long as you do that, the 9 ball has got no option but to roll in. And the pace was right, and Larry is now on the hill, and he's got a proverbial mountain to climb, Columbus, but it's just going to be a matter of marking time for Larry now. Well, what I'm going to do is, as well, we're sort of warming up in this final rack, or what might be the final rack, I'm going to have a quick look at the bracket. Yes, I got it all wrong. Bedhead is actually waiting on the winner of Marcellus and VP Monster, who play tomorrow night. I think earlier on today I said this was the 15th. It's actually the 14th today, isn't it? And then we've got Larry playing Columbus, and he plays the winner of the Mooncake Spectre Dawn match. That's right, I got it wrong. So where have we got to? Well, Columbus has had a blast. I think the 2 went in there, but no shot in the 3. And I think it's just a case of give it a blast and hope you get lucky. Well, he's got it reasonably safe, but Larry will be he'll be reverse banking this onto the 5. At least that's what I'd be doing. It gives you a reasonable margin of error just to bank that 3 up the table, and just let the cue ball run and take your chances. Is he trying for a thin cut? What's he doing? Looking to bank it past the 6? Let's have a look at what he's doing here. He might be banking it past the 6. Yep, good shot, but he's now got no shot other than trying to play the combo onto the 9, which is nowhere near a gimme. Or he could go for the cut up into the top left. So Larry might push the boat out here, and if he gets a wee bit of dig in it, he could billiard the 9 in if he really went for it full-blooded. He's going all out for the long 4. Difficult shot. Now, can you see that? Yeah, I think you can see it, but he certainly can't see enough of it to make the potting angle. He could put a little bit of bend in the cue ball. And that, I'm afraid, is more than likely going to be Columbus's last shot in the tournament. So this match started approximately 55 minutes ago, so it's looking likely that we're going to be under the hour, which suits me fine. That gives me about another hour or so before we go beddy bye-byes. Well, Larry can do whatever he wants here. He's bound to have a shot in the 8 ball. And that's perfect. And it's just a gentle roll through for the 9 into the left middle. And Yama, again, he gets his timing all wrong. He comes in at the end of the match. Oh, he's played the draw just to annoy me. So Larry comfortably through to the next round, and he wins the match by 11 racks to 2. Well folks, that's us all over again. At least we got a match in at some point during the day. As it stands, Stubb Real Poland Power is set to play semi-pro, so that's a match I would like to get. As and when it happens. I'm assuming that Cobra is going to go and hide for 4 or 5 days so that he doesn't get asked the question again, and the result may well stand. So thanks for your company again, chaps, if you're still there, and I will see you again soon. So remember, take care and stay at home and keep your distance, and we'll see you again soon.